me, how long have you been married?
57 years.
Is it 57? Wait a minute, let's see.
Yeah, in July.
In July?
57.
1954. That's 59.
Right.
54. No?
No.
No?
I'm getting confused now.
We forgot how to add.
I came back from Korea and landed in Sherman Air Force Base. And I still had a year to go before, I guess it was a year before I got out. Or thereabout, right close to it. Anyway, I brought one of my friends. He didn't have a car, I had one. To her house in Dallas.
He walked in the door, and I knew he was the one.
Did you tell him?
No, but I told my daddy not to let him leave.
The door halfway open, and her dad says, "Sit down, son." Around this big table. They just sat me down and ate Thanksgiving dinner. I loved her parents instantly. Their personality just... So I'd come down over the weekend just basically to see them. Well, see her, I'd go to the USO.
I was a USO girl, and that was a good thing.
I happened to be there when she was talking to her boyfriend that she was engaged to. He'd been
Sorry.
shipped out. He'd been shipped out to. That did it. So I basically started going with her. We were driving down the road, and I says, "Helen, when are we going to get married?" She gave me a date 2 weeks later. She had already decided.
She said, "Well, Gil, I've got the church set up for Dallas."
I was born in McKinney and moved to Dallas when I was 3, and Gil and I got married in that house. And we moved to Richardson and bought a house for $13,000. My daddy said, "You kids will never get it paid for." We had a girl and a boy. And so that was wonderful. I wasn't sure we'd ever have any. So anyway, that was good. And we were married 7 years before we had the children. We rode motorcycles, dirt bikes as a family. And so for 10 years, 9 or 10 years, we rode dirt bikes with our kids and
the top of
a number of other families. Gil got 3 weeks vacation, and we would spend each year in Colorado, riding on the mountaintop. And when our kids were grown and away, we went into a motorhome for 8 years.
All over the place, Alaska, everywhere.
Right, and we'd spend 3 months here and 3 months there in Mexico. And it was just wonderful. That's where we learned to carve. We were at a campground in Florida, and they offered free lessons. I wanted to take them. Mr. Rogers wasn't interested. So I went, and then I twisted his arm and convinced him he wanted to too. So
I didn't want to?
No, you wouldn't go with me the first time. We were wood carving at a campground and got to know the people really well.
They're from Seattle, Washington.
And so the next winter we hurried back to Florida to take some more lessons. Well, they didn't show up.
And then we wound up started teaching.
So, why not? With another couple, we started teaching what we knew, what little we knew. And it blossomed. We come back to Dallas area for our kids. We had a daughter that lived in Bonham and a son that lived in McKinney.
Okay.
So I came here to the center in McKinney, senior center in McKinney, and asked them if they would let us teach so that we could have some friends. And I was expecting 5 or 6. Well, the first time we had about 12, and it just blossomed again. Don't charge them. All the lessons are free. They start with a note, a musical note. Then from there they go and make a dolphin. We show them how to get started on their carving. And they're so full of talent that they don't know they have. Just because.
How long ago did you start here?
2004.
2000. So you've been doing this for 8 years
Right.
at the senior center.
Right.
That's great. And you say you have 60-something people that come.
I think there's
That come and go.
63.
Your original goal was to meet people. Have you made lots of friends?
Yes. Lots and lots of friends.
That's great.
They're so talented. Just to see them come and think they can't even draw a straight line. Well, you don't have to.
If you think you have a story to tell, send me an email. But I have to tell you up front, it better be good. I hope you...
On return into